So today we're going to discuss this comprehensive hospital billing system using Python. So let's start. So our first step is to gather data, and we need two main blocks for information. Yeah. This first block is the patient details, and the second block is the vital sa- is the vital signs of the patient. For patient details, remember to use typecasting like the age, days of stay, lab test, and must be cast to an integer using int. Now for the vital signs, since we need to perform numerical checks is the temperature is the temperature greater than 38? These inputs must be cast right away. Temperature need temperature needs to be f- to be temperature needs to be afloat, and blood pressure and heart rate can be integers. Next, we need to determine the cost of the room. So this is a perfect job for a simple if and elif chain. So notice whether this will converts whether the user types uppercase ICU or and it will convert it into lowercase ICU. So after calculating the room bill, we need the fixed charges. The operation fee uses a neat Python metric. Here, after calculating the bill, we handle we handle the fixed charges. And finally, we sum everything up to get subtotal. Now, for this is where the our logic lives, applying discounts. Discounts often have priority hierarchy, and in Python, we handle this by putting the highest priority rule first. The senior citizen discount is 20%, so it is our first if statement. So if the patient is 60 or older, they stop checking the other conditions. Once the discount rate is set, we calculate the discount amount and the final total bill. Next, we switch gears to medical logic. We need to evaluate the patient's conditions. The most interesting check here is blood pressure, as it requires compound conditions. A patient has high blood pressure if the systolic or the diastolic reading is too high. So we use the OR operator. For this. This will saving the resulting status to variables like temp status, saving the resulting status to variables like temp status and HR status. This gives our final output. Last piece is presenting our results professionally. Now we use again the F string for readability, and most importantly, we use this format specifier to ensure we display exactly two decimal places for currency, and this 12 here reserves 12 spaces, which neatly aligns our prices for a clean columnar loop. Now, let's try run this. So patient 2025, kung ilang patient ka, 5. Patient name, that's by Eric. Age, 25. Ward, so let's try 5 days. And we have 3 lab tests. So let's try our medicine is 1,500. Say no. So our body temperature is, let's try 36. And our blood pressure is 80. Yeah, I feel like we must. And then our heart rate is, let's start off with this. So we have here the bite, our bill summary. It prints our information here and the vital signs. So since temperature 36 is normal temperature, it prints normal temperature. And we have a blood pressure, we have high blood pressure, and we have a normal heart rate. So we have a room bill since we stayed 5 days. We get 2,500 and lab bill 3 times. So we have we got 3,600 for our medicine fee 1,500. And since we don't have operation, we don't need the operation, we don't need to pay the operation fee. So the subtotal is 7,600. And for our discounts, we don't have discounts since it only applies to 60 above of age. And I forgot to tell you that we have here default the fixed rate of our room. So the ward is 500. And so we stayed for 5 days, right? 5 days, right? So let's try 5 times 5 equals to 5. And then as what we got here, we have we have the accurate calculation in our output. And for our lab bill, we have here the fixed rate of 1,200. And since we input 3 lab, and since we input here 3 lab tests, so we will 3,600 for lab bill. And for our medicine fee, we just inputted earlier at 1,500. So if we'll just call that, I will just print it here, and then sum this up, sum this up, and get the subtotal. So that's it, and I hope this helps. This is for our. Thank you.